What's up, YouTube? My name is Reggie, and I just quit my job 3 months ago to become a full-time creator. Now, that's sort of true, sort of not true. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a future video. Um, but it is true that I am starting a new journey as a YouTube content creator. And so you may notice that maybe the lighting isn't great, the sound isn't completely optimized, but I am starting this journey and I'm recording my first 100 videos publicly so that I am holding myself accountable to produce content and in the hopes of improving a little bit every single video so that by the time I get to video number 101, I can actually make content that I'm proud of, that folks will really want to watch and listen to, and that will be engaging for my audience. So, what kind of content am I making? Well, if you watch a lot of professional YouTubers, they will say that you really shouldn't focus too much on what your niche is in your first few videos because it will change. And that makes sense. And me producing these first 100 videos as sort of a diary, a sort of real-time diary of my YouTube journal or my YouTube journey kind of proves that. But my real goal with making this content is to produce high quality investment related content specifically for large institutional investors. And now if that sort of doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. The folks that understand it and the folks that I'm targeting my content at, it makes complete sense to them. But in the meantime, in getting to that point where I can make good content that I'm proud of, that folks in that sort of category of people that I'm targeting will actually want to watch, I'm going through this process that actually Mr. Beast recommended for brand new YouTubers. So Mr. Beast is, I think, the most popular YouTuber in the world. As I'm recording this video in January of 2025, he has over 350 million YouTube subscribers. And people always ask him for advice for new YouTubers or what he would do if he were starting over from scratch. And he said something that I thought was really poignant, and that is, no one's going to watch your first 100 videos regardless of who you are, what your content is, what you think your niche is, right? It doesn't matter. And moreover, it's probably not going to be very high quality, right? You don't have the experience, you haven't put in the reps. And I'm sort of exactly in that position. This is going to be what I would describe as my first substantive YouTube video. And so what does that mean? That means that I haven't learned how to create thumbnails. I literally do not know how to edit videos at all. I don't even have an editing software other than I think iMovie, which comes with your Mac and your iPhone, but I've never used it before. I'm not sort of an expert in the principles of audio quality. The lighting is probably not the best. The time of day right now where I'm shooting this video in my apartment, I'm backlit because the sun is sort of setting behind me. And so I know from that standpoint, the lighting isn't great. And so there are all these things that I need to learn and improve at. But I think that over the course of 100 videos, as Mr. Beast put it, if you can continually improve over the course of every single video, and you can make small improvements, even from video to video, things that maybe they show up in the next video, maybe they don't. Maybe it's something that I've learned behind the scenes that'll help me produce better videos in the future, but that doesn't immediately show up in my next video, right? That should be the goal. So the goal is really twofold, right? So first, it's get comfortable with and get in your mind that you are going to be a consistent content producer. So the first 100 videos, right? Get through those as soon as you can, whether it's one a week, one a day, right? Just get through that first 100 videos as soon as you can so that you're getting yourself in the habit of making videos and that you're also getting in the repetitions getting in the practice that will ultimately make you a better YouTube producer. And then second, make sure that with every subsequent video, you're finding some way to improve, right? It can be a small improvement, right? It can be a big improvement. In my case, because I'm starting literally from scratch, I should be able to make some pretty significant improvements in my first few videos because I don't know anything at this point, right? I think the one thing that I'm starting with and that you'll notice is that I'm recording this video on my iPhone, but I'm not using the internal iPhone microphone. I actually went out and bought an external wireless microphone. And while I know wireless microphones aren't the best, and I'm learning a little bit about sound, and I think this is called an omnidirectional microphone, which is also not the best for a talking head video like this, right? I can at least say, okay, my first video, I'm at least not using my iPhone microphone, right? And so, I'm fortunate enough to be able to go out and buy an external mic. And so hopefully this sounds a little bit better than it would have if I had just used my internal iPhone microphone. So that's my goal. It is to overcome the analysis paralysis. And full disclosure, I am the kind of person who likes to get all the information. I want a complete, sort of a view of the landscape. I like studying. I like reading. I've always been one to sort of want to know everything about everything, right? I want to get away from that and become someone who is more action oriented. So I'm not overthinking. I'm literally just taking action, whether it's every week, every single day, and producing my first 100 videos. So, I don't know if folks can relate to this. I'm sure my sort of perfectionists out there can relate to it, or my folks who struggle with analysis paralysis, and it takes a long time to actually go out and put one foot in front of the other. But that's what I'm doing. I mean, I even 2 jobs ago, I don't know if folks are familiar, but there's a personality assessment called the DISC assessment, DISC, and each letter of DISC sort of corresponds with a personality type. And my personality type, when I took the test, was predominantly C, and C stands for conscientiousness. But it basically means the person who wants all the information, the person who is anxious or worried about making a mistake. And so therefore we think the more information that we have, the more knowledge that we have, it'll minimize the chances of us producing a mistake. And while we're sort of out here gathering all this information, we're really missing out on opportunities to be actually taking steps, because that's the best way to learn, right? It's not a matter of trying to watch the most how-to YouTube videos out there, or trying to have everything nailed down perfectly in my first video, because regardless, that's not going to happen anyway. It's really about leaning into the D in DISC, which is dominance. And the characteristics of that particular personality type are, that's the person who is all about, like, forget about thinking about it, forget about worrying about it. Like, we're going forward, we're taking steps, and we'll figure things out along the way, right? It's the bull in the china shop, right? It's the person who is on the go and is taking steps and is not taking no for an answer. And so for me, the goal is to, even though my personality type historically has been a C, my goal is to lean more into that D personality type and sort of minimize the C in me. So that's the process that I'm taking. That's what I'm doing. Plato has a great statement that that you can take charge of your thoughts and you can do with them what you will. And so for me, throughout this journey, hopefully, if folks out there can relate, you'll be able to see me taking charge of the C in my personality and turning myself into more of a D, if that makes sense, right? And so it's all about action at this point. this is a great way, I think, to keep myself accountable. I'm just producing videos, trying to get a little bit better with each one. And yeah, so this is the journey. Join me on the journey. Hopefully, this will be inspiring or helpful to folks as I'm uploading new videos and as I'm focused on sort of the one improvement that I've made in each next video. I will highlight, and once I kind of learn how to edit, maybe I'll start to, link other videos and my videos and do all those cool things. But until I get that figured out, I'll start to highlight places that I'm learning from. So for example, if I'm learning something from another YouTube video about how to improve audio, for example, I'll make sure to highlight that video, give folks credit where credit is due, so that, if you are similarly situated, and if you're someone who's starting on a YouTube journey and is wanting to get better, but you've been anxious, you've been worried, you've doubted yourself, join me along the process. We'll learn together, and get to a point where we look back on this, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now, and can really see a significant amount of progress we've made. So it's been a long one. Appreciate your time and attention. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Drop me a comment below. Let me know sort of what's helpful for you, what you'd like to hear. Even if it's just a word of encouragement, give me a thumbs up if you would, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks.